Hi guys, welcome back to This African Perspective. Thank you for stopping by. So today the videos we're going to be checking out are videos about the American dream. So some immigrants actually giving what their concept of the American dream is and what they think about the American dream. You know, most times when people are living, like when they are living in a country, their country, and they are moving to America, they are always thinking like, oh, you know, I'm trying to go and achieve something. I'm trying to work hard so I can get a lot of money, so I can, you know, get this dream, achieve this dream. It's a place of opportunity and this and that. Everybody has those thoughts, and some are coming to school, you know, to help their careers. And so this video is actually going to be you seeing people's perspective, and also like just, you know, it's a conversation we can have and how things have changed. We know how the economy has become, and a lot of people are having complaints as to how they just struggle with inflation, recession, and everything. Everything isn't the same as it used to be. So that's the conversation we're going to be having. But before we get right into this video, I want to give a huge shout out to Joseph for sending me a $25 cash app. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for always supporting this channel. Big shout out to Mr. Me for $5 super thanks. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. I really appreciate you. Make sure you please click the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you're watching me for the very first time. Clicking the like button really helps with the algorithm, and I appreciate that so much. Let's get right into it.
It's wild how this place is truly the wild west. And the way us as our generation, millennials, everything they told us to do to be successful in the US, the rules have changed. That's not the case.
Oh, that's not been the case for a while.
You see what's happening? They told us, come in the US, focus on your books, get your college degrees, get your career, and you're gonna live the American dream. And bro, like the math ain't right now.
It's a fallacy, right?
It's a fallacy, right?
Yeah.
We're all here. A whole generation of us are like, WTF, bro. Y'all told us to do this, and we're out here in the world we live in, especially here in the US, bro.
Yeah.
We could, like, how are people surviving, bro?
Exactly.
Why are we here? Then that begs the question, why are you here?
And then you start thinking deeper.
I'm not even from here. That's what I said. I'm like, I'm not even from here. This is not like when I go home, the happiness I feel, even by just not doing anything, by just being at home all day, not doing anything, that peace, I can't do it. I can't get it here.
Bro, there was 3 days I didn't leave the house.
That's what I'm saying. Just that.
It's a scam that's become so normalized that we don't even realize it's a scam anymore.
The American dream. You get up at 5 in the morning, rush to be out of the house by 5:30, try to make it to work at 6. You work a 12-hour shift. In those 12 hours, you take crap from your managers and coworkers. You eat at whatever time they say that you can eat for the amount of time that you can eat. You have sick days, but if you use them, it's frowned upon. So if you want to aspire to be anything within the company, try not to use them. Then you work until you're 62 years old. You pay bills until you die, and you're expected to be grateful. Forgive me, but that it doesn't make any sense. And don't get me wrong, I'm grateful that I can go out to work to provide for my house. In fact, the Bible says that he who does not work should also not eat. So I'm in favor of hard work. What I'm not in favor of, though, is abuse. People putting their jobs in factories before their own health. When they don't need you anymore, you're gone. But if you want to leave, you better put in those 2 weeks. So yeah, it's a scam.
What does the American dream mean to you? Because growing up, my idea of what it was is completely different than what I have now. Like, I always thought it meant to just be rich as soon as possible, have that white picket fence, and have that family. But I quickly realized that in my 20s, white American people's aspirations and dreams are completely different for children of immigrants like me. Like, my American dream is to retire my parents as soon as possible, whereas for most white American people, it's to have their own established life because their parents can kind of retire themselves and they have their own money for the most part. Like, that's a blessing and a curse, right? You have to think about your family, but also think about yourself. But our whole new episode on the American dream talks about what we thought it was growing up, what it actually is, what we think of it now, versus what our immigrant parents think the American dream is and why they moved to America in the first place, sacrificing everything. But as always, let us know in the comments below what your idea of the American dream is and what you're striving for to be successful.
Alright, so today I'm going to be talking about the fact that a lot of people say America is a scam. A lot of people have heard this nonsense from, and mostly my own African brothers and sisters. The focus is going to be today on mortgage. A lot of you might not understand what mortgage is, but mortgage in Africa, we don't do mortgages there. If you don't have cash, you don't get to build a house or buy a home. But in America, you don't need cash. All they need is to see that you're credible, and the lender is going to give you money, a loan, which you get to pay in a long space of time, 15 to 30 years. Okay. Now, the problem is this: when they establish your credibility, they can see that you can pay this. You could be earning $100,000. The problem with these people is this: they're not going to give you a loan of say 100,000 or a loan of like 50,000. You know what? Let's just give the person some leeway to be able to pay. They're not going to do that. They're going to write you a loan for like $500,000, like 5 times what you earn in a year. What they're trying to do is this: they give it to you and see if you're going to catch on to that bait. A lot of Africans want to show off. They want to be able to call people back home and say, hey, look, my house has a pool, I have this, I have that in my house. You know, they go and buy a house of 500,000, but they earn 100,000 a year, right? Now, what this means for them is this: they don't sleep in that house. They work Monday through Sunday, morning to night. They're never home. Why are they never home? Because they have to work to pay the mortgage.
There is no life in the United States, and you'll only realize this when you leave. Like, the average American is working 2 to 3 jobs and like multiple side hustles just to stay afloat. The US is literally a business, and if you live there, all you should do is work. That's what it's meant for. But once you make your bread, dude, get the fuck out of there. The fun is overseas, my guy. And I don't knock anybody who hustles and works hard to make a better life for themselves, but working is just a piece of the puzzle. Because if you're just focused on your wealth, you are neglecting your health. You know, the clock's ticking in the States. You got work to do, boy. You can't enjoy yourself. You got bills to pay, motherfucker. And if you actually leave, get ready to get your time back, your health back, and watch your stress almost disappear. And that's the biggest difference between living in the US and living abroad. Time. And I ain't saying it's all sunshine and roses outside of the US. But what I am saying is you will have your time back. And that's the one thing that money can't buy.
I find it really interesting to actually hear people's different experience. Our experiences could be similar, but at the same time, like, I know we all have different parts. Some people might actually argue with you in some situations where you're telling them, oh, like, this is my experience, I don't really like it. Some people that they actually like, they absolutely love what they are experiencing. I heard an immigrant, she said something, she was mostly speaking her language, so that was why it was difficult for me to actually use the video, because I'm sure there are a lot of people who don't understand the language. She was just talking about how in the US, she just likes how everybody minds their business. You see how some people might be like, oh, they want like a community type of life where everybody's like all up in your life, like you guys know each other. She was literally saying she wouldn't want that, because why the hell, like, she loved that she left her country and moved away and is staying in a, like, the US is more like a place everybody mind their business. She doesn't even have to know her neighbors, unlike like in Africa where everybody's all up in your business. In different countries in Africa, most times like the community life is us being all up in your business, like, you know when something is happening in this person's household, everybody's gossiping, knowing about it, and, you know, talking to you and asking you questions to know what is happening with you. You know, that kind of stuff. It's good, but some people actually do not really like that. So she was happy to not have that, while some were like, no, they don't like the quiet, you know, boring life where every man for their own self. The society where everybody just has to focus on their self, like, be it you move away from your parents and you're like so independent on your own that you don't have this community type of stuff. Like, when you guys are staying in a place, you guys will stay in a neighborhood where you don't even know your neighbors at all, which is crazy. That's not something that is normal in some places. So, but some actually will love that. Like, that's what they seek for in life. So I say it's interesting to actually hear people's different perspective. What some people want is absolutely different.
In 90 days, I'm leaving America for good and moving to Southeast Asia. Here's 3 reasons why. Reason number 1, affordability. I love America, but it has become so much more expensive over the last couple of years. If you factor in rent, groceries, and all of those other expenses, you're going to break the bank just to get by. My rent in America is $1,500 right now, and in a Southeast Asian country like the Philippines, the amount amount I pay in rent in the US would cover almost 90% of my monthly expenses. Reason number 2, culture. Everything is so polarizing in the US, from politics to relationships and everything in between. It just seems like everyone's being put against each other. When I'm in the Philippines, things are so chill and the culture feels so different. Reason number 3, peace and safety. I'll be honest, as a Black American, I've never felt unsafe while traveling abroad. However, there are a couple of times where I felt unsafe in America, and the Philippines is a complete 180. Now, I'm not saying you're never gonna run across bad people, but most of the people that I've come across were just friendly locals. But would you move to the Philippines? If so, let me know in the comment section below. And before you go, did you know that
I was at my friend's house the other day, and her child is going very soon into secondary school, and I was like, have you started looking at schools? And she said, no. I was like, okay, why? She said, Choma, I'm tired. Choma, I've been in this country for 20 years because she came really early, and I can't do it anymore. Choma, I'm tired. I'm like, why are you saying this? She said, Choma, I went to Nigeria and I spent 2 weeks, and that was the best 2 weeks of my life. I didn't need to wake up early to stress for the children. I had help. How much am I paying the help now? I had 2 of them, 100K each. I had a driver. I had someone go to market, come back, cook for me. I went out. I enjoyed myself with friends. I came back. I was happy. I'm not driving. I'm not scared. Oh, am I getting a ticket for parking? When I park my car, I'm looking around. Have I parked well? You know, is there somebody come and stamp something? I'm not scared of letters. Whenever I see letters in my house, my heart go boom. What letter is this? What have I done? The trauma, I was at peace. And I felt it in my soul. I felt it badly. I know that I don't talk on this, but I think I mentioned it a few times before. The decision to move abroad was not my decision. It almost caused my marriage to end back then. I was in a bad place. I was depressed because I wasn't suffering in Nigeria. When I say people want to say, I cannot lie. I was an insurance broker for oil companies. You know what that one mean? My commission alone, every deal I made, I wasn't suffering in this country. It's not easy. I always say, when people ask me, I want to move abroad, should I? I say, if your life is not hard in Nigeria, if you are comfortable, you have a good job, your kids go to good schools, you can travel the world, you don't get anything where they find for abroad. But if you know that your life, you're a middle class person or you don't have money and opportunity comes, take it. Because if not for you, for your children, to get that paper, to get that, Bali and whatever it is, you're not doing for yourself because you're coming to suffer. At least for the first 3 to 5 years. And a lot of us are tired. This no be life where we they live. No family, no companionship as per everybody mind your business. And as an African that is used to, that friendly African nature, it's strange to you. And I don't complain so much because I'm an introvert naturally, so it's not so hard for me. I don't even want to talk to anybody. It's not hard for me. But extroverts are falling into depression. It's hard for them. So a lot of us that have been here for a long time, we're tired. We're tired. I say, God, I'm tired. I honestly, this morning when I woke up, tears were in my eyes. I said, God, I'm tired. Which kind of wahala be this? It is, the workload is much. You walk, you pay taxes. And if for someone like me that likes to live a good life, I cannot afford not to work. So as you are seeing the good life, no easy. I preach multiple sources of income. Because if you want to live on one income, you don't go feel live good life for this country. Me not go lie you. Unless you're earning in a very high tax bracket. And at that high tax bracket, by the time your tax come up for months, even yourself, your heart, you'll be like, chai, it go eat you for heart. I'm not someone that can be comfortable living from hand to mouth. I can't do it. I too like good life. You don't see me now. I must always be on point. And being on, now what is used to make hair. So bukai that hair 3 months. I can't.
I've been living in Japan for over 3 years, and here are some reasons why I would never move back to America. Firstly, I want to live to be as old as I possibly can be, and Japan ranks number 3 in having the highest life expectancy. And guess where America ranks? 69. America ranks 69 in life expectancy. Okay. Not top 5, not top 10, not even top 50. Top 100. Okay, that's really sad. I'm trying to live a long life, and I know that by living in Japan, I will be able to do that because my quality of life is so much better. Number 2, I have never in my life felt more safe walking alone at night as a woman, a single woman, than I have when living in Japan. In America, I would never, and I mean never, under any circumstances, be caught walking by myself at night. Japan ranks number 22 in the safest places to live in the world, while America ranks number 71. Also, this is my apartment. Please excuse the mess, but yeah. This is bedroom number 2 and bedroom number 3. I could never, ever, ever, ever in my wildest dreams ever be able to afford a 3-bedroom apartment in America. These are just some of the privileges I have while living in Japan, so I don't see myself moving back to America ever. I mean, why would I?
I feel like if you want to live the American dream really belongs to those who actually hire you, like the people who own businesses and hire a bunch of people in it. I'm talking about big corps. Like those ones are the real, like those are the ones living the American dream. Because businesses actually run differently in different countries, like different places you go to, how you run the business, stuff, the rules and regulations and stuff you need to follow, system is totally different in places. You know, this whole video is not about me giving like, oh, a strong opinion about it. I'm just trying to like open a discussion for us. I love that you guys actually, you know, start conversations in the chat, in the comment section, and that is good. Like, have good thoughts that they actually, you know, put there in the comments, and that is good. So all I'm saying is, I feel like personally for me, I feel like those people who have businesses in the US and create businesses are the ones who actually make good money, like especially when you are extremely greedy in your business in the business you have, and you're not really the type who, you know how most times when you want to be rich, you just have to step on people's toes, you have to like just like not be really kind, you have to be wicked to some certain extent. So I feel like people who do that are living their dreams because they get to make so much money. And you know, of course, like you can see how a lot of people are being paid less than what they're worth, what they're actually worth working for someone. And you see the people who are working are the ones who are getting the very little crumbs, and at the end of the day, the ones who are owning those businesses are the ones who are making so much money. So I feel like if we're talking about the American dream, those are the people living their dreams. Every other person other than the ones who actually get like, you know, these good high paying jobs that are very good, majority are just, you know, down here. They're just down here struggling, and that's just where we are.
I'm not a political person, but I'm working my way out of America. This has been my plan for a long time, and here's why. I mean, obvious reasons, the country is going to hell, but when my husband of 30 years passed away, we worked our entire lives, pretty much the whole time. For 30 years, after that, the United States government sent me a check for $255 to help me with his burial expenses, which were in the thousands, of course. I can't get his Social Security, even though we were married for 30 years. I can't access it for another 10 to 20 years, only on the stipulations that I do not remarry within 10 years. And if after that 10 years, I can collect his Social Security every month, as long as I don't make over $19,000 a year. Who can live off of that in America? I'm having breakfast this morning, and this gentleman just walks up and says, looking for a job. He's 70 years old. He worked 30 years, 80 to 100 hours a week, and now he's looking for a job to come out of retirement because he cannot afford his homeowners association dues. I'm on my way to a third world country. Follow me if you want to see my journey. I will not regret this decision, I promise you. The United States feels like the Titanic and we're all on a sinking ship. I don't care for your political commentary. I'm just telling you what's going on in my life. It's a day in the life of Drea. Thanks for listening.
Today, the focus is going to be on car notes. A lot of people might not understand what car notes is, but in Africa, if you don't have cash, you don't get to buy a car. But in America, you don't need cash to buy a car. Okay? All you need is just, as I said before, to establish some credibility with a lender that you can pay for the car. They want to see that you have a job with a consistent paycheck. They want to see you have a good credit score, and they give you the car. Now, a lot of my African brothers and sisters, they want to buy a car they cannot afford. A lot of them want to show off. They want to be able to do videos in the car. Look at me, I've arrived, you know. They're driving a car they cannot afford. They have to go to work every day. They don't even sleep in their houses. They are sleeping in this car. The car is like their second home. I've worked with some people that don't have a house. Matter of fact, some of them have houses that they don't even sleep in. They sleep in their car. They have food in their car, water, juices, change of clothes and shoes in their car. But the kind of car that they are driving, if only they could go to the auction and buy a car that they can afford, maybe they won't have to work as much. Maybe they won't have to be living from their car. So when you go get a car, no, get a car that is within your means. Those car companies are going to warn you. They warn you the first month. The second month you're not listening. You will park your car at the store one day. You come out and the car is gone. The company has come and carried their car. That's what they want. They want to do that to you. Say you owe 20,000 on the car. I'm just being minimal. You have paid, if you like, pay 19,900. You owe $100 on that car. And you fall sick. You cannot pay. They will come and carry their car. They will say, oh, we have to, we have to get our $100 back. You still owing us 100. They will carry that car, and the 19,900 you have paid all these years is just going to be gone like that.
So these are privileges that I have in Japan that I didn't have living in America. No credit scores, baby. They don't give a fuck about no credit scores down here. You want to rent an apartment, you want to buy a house, they're not checking that shit. Because there is no formal credit check system here. When I was moving into like 3 different apartments, they're just like, you got a job? I was like, yeah. And they're like, okay, cool. They don't check pay stubs. They don't check shit. I get to go to the dentist every 3 months. I got my wisdom teeth taken out for less than $20. I do my cleanings for like $10. It's all covered by the health insurance. They cover dental, they cover vision. I don't need a car. I don't need to drive nowhere. If I get back from the grocery store, I'm like, shit, I forgot butter. I can just walk back 5 minutes. I don't have to hop in the car and drive for 10-15 minutes. I can pay my bills at the convenience store. They're on every fucking corner too. Shit. If I go outside in public, I'm never thinking like, oh my god, is someone gonna come out and like, drrrr? Like, I never have to think about that, like, ever.
Don't buy anything you cannot afford, where you don't have, like, I know it's kind of difficult in most situations to actually have assurance that, oh, I can pay for this thing. But I think that people shouldn't be doing, like, don't be doing overly too much, going to buy stuff in the long run you don't have the hope to actually pay it off. You don't have that, like, it's just not reasonable for you in that situation, in your financial situation that you're in. Buy something that is affordable for you, so you don't have to struggle that hard. You don't have to just keep going and working. Because what's the purpose of actually buying something that you cannot enjoy? What's the purpose of it? You're just buying it just to show off to people. The only thing that people, I've said this, and I'll keep saying this, when you do something and you're doing it just to show off to people, the highest thing people will do is just tell you, wow, beautiful, adorable, compliment you on that. They don't care. They are going to move on with their life. Yeah, they're just going to tell you that it's just going to be a few minutes hype, and that's it. A lot of people have different reasons as to why they want to leave the US. Many people have, as you guys have heard, is it for health reasons? Some people feel like the food is bad. Some people feel like the cost of living is crazy and it's ridiculously high. They just don't like it. And then some people do have, they don't feel like they get to like live life and chill on a daily. They feel like it's just like a fast life. Everybody's rushing, like, that all. It's even lonely. Like, there are some people who have said how lonely it is, and they feel like health wise they're not healthy enough. They don't get to, like, have this type of community type of life. And there's just so many complaints on and on and on, while there are still some people who cherish and adore the country and have so much good things to say about it. But we know a lot of stuff with the, American dream stuff has really changed. That's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching this video to the very end. I appreciate you so much. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And also hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video. And leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about this video. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.